everyone. I can't believe I'm doing a YouTube video with my hair like this, but it is for a YouTube video how-to, so please don't send me too many negative comments. Anyway, first off, we're going to do a nice braided updo. Easy, it looks really sophisticated, and I hope you like it, so we'll get right on with it. Tools, you'll need some sort of brush to tease your hair with, and also a pointy end to separate sections. Another big brush just to comb it out. And then also some clips to put your hair back, some elastics, and bobby pins. And that's it. For starters, you're going to separate your hair. Kind of go from behind your ear, so it's kind of like that. That's separated. You're going to pin this part back with a clip. Okay? Then you're going to go up straight across your head, so you have about half of it in a braid. Then when you get to this part, instead of going back, you're going to go back a little bit to grab a little bit more of the hair so the braid will fall naturally that way. Then with that hair, you're going to clip that back. Now this hair is the trickiest. You want to comb it over. I know, it's going to look ridiculous. Comb it over. Oh, I forgot to mention, this hair works best for second day hair. The little bit of grit in it helps. So if you find it's a little bit oily, you can use a dry shampoo. This stuff is really good. First off, you're going to section your hair into two. You want two sections. This is the hardest part to get it going. After this, it gets a little bit easier, I promise. 1 and 2. Kind of going to flip your hand this way so you can work on it. It's a fishtail braid, so what that means is you're going to take a piece in your right hand from the outside section of your right. You put that into the inside section of your left. Holding that tight. So you want to be really close to the root. You're going to take some from the left hand section and pull that over to the right inside section like that. It's going to kind of feel like you're giving yourself a facelift for a little bit, but you'll be okay. Take another section from the right. Inside section of your left hand. Okay, bet you my hand was in that. Left hand section. Inside of your right. Right section. Inside section of your left. And each time you do this, just give it a nice little tug. You want it tight. It will loosen up when you go to secure it. So you're just going to keep continuing on down, and we'll be back in a second. Hey guys, so now that we're a little farther down, this is the hairiest part, no pun intended. It does get easier as you go, so as you can see, that's how the braid looks. So when you get down close to here is when it gets a little bit tricky and hair begins to fall. Try and keep your hand flat to your head for this part. If not, you'll get little bumps in it. But it's the same concept. Nice and tight. Your hand should almost start to cramp from the effort of holding it so tightly. I know that sounds really strange, but it'll make all the difference in the texture of the braid. Now I pulled too much back, so I'm just pulling some out to go into the braid. Okay, so when you get down to this point is when the braid is going to start, and the braid is going to want to start to go back to the back, and if you left this loose here, you get little bumps kind of like here. So you want it nice and smooth. So I'm just going to keep kind of taking hair from the bottom. Now when you get to this point, you can kind of just switch it over into a normal braid, a 3-section, just to finish it off so it holds it. If you had longer hair than I do, you could easily finish with the braid, but my hair just doesn't do that very naturally well with the length. So I'm just finishing it off into a tiny little braid so that it can be pulled back. But see here, you can see the texture of it. Taking just a little elastic, just securing that so when I put it back up, it will stay in a tight braid. Okay? Now that the hard part is over, and it does get easier, comb the rest of your hair out. Careful not to pull the braid though. Then you're back to square one. We're going to section bits of my hair to do a tease. Taking this back section. And if your hair doesn't hold tease well, dry shampoo, 1 squirt, thickens it up and it'll hold it. So you just go up the back and then flip it over. Take another section. Do it as many times as you want. My hair always falls a little, so I always just do a little bit of extra oomph. But just try and keep it, you know, not all the way up here. You don't want, you know, Goldie Hawn 80s, okay? Just down here. Okay? Also, for this, you're going to want to tease the sides a little bit so that you have some shape to your head and your hair is just not flat up against it. So just the same technique. Just keep teasing. Then you're going to gently comb this back. You don't want to take out what you just put in for volume, but you want to make sure it's smooth. Then you take another elastic, pull it back. I guess I'll show you the backwards. No good showing the front when I'm doing that. You're going to pull it back like this into a low ponytail. Make sure you have your braid in there nice and tight. Don't want to pull too tight or you're going to lose all of this puff. I like mine kind of messy, so I just kind of more height here. This, whenever you tighten the bottom, it will push the rest of it up, okay? You can do it in a nice bun or messy bun. My hair is definitely not long enough to do in a nice bun, so that's why I do it messy. If you find this is too tight, do a little pull. But if you ever do it a little too big, just take a bobby pin. I'm just going to set that right in the middle. Kind of cover it up a little bit, just to keep it tight. Pull this off a little. That side has some nice volume. See the nice fishtail. If any spots like this one here are kind of, you can see that little flat, just take your little tight end of a brush. If you don't have this kind of brush, a little fine tooth comb works too. Just I tease it a lot, so I have a brush. Okay? And with that, I don't mind these little bumps. I think it gives it a little bit more character, like you're not trying to be so perfect. If that bothers you, you can just kind of like pull it tight and bobby pin it. But sometimes I find the more you mess with these things, the bigger they get. So you can just kind of pull all the ends up a little bit. Not like that. Tuck it back in if you overdo it, peoples. That's what you can do with braids. And then you kind of have like a nice little halo effect, and then it's done. So this, you can add a little bow to it. You can add some cute little, you know, hair accessories or some bling right in the side or in the top, or you can do a good, just leave it messy or in a nice ponytail. And this is the final look. This is what the braid looks like. In the back, I hope it's okay. I can't really see, but it feels okay. And then that side, which I can't turn that way. Then there's this side. So I really hope you guys enjoy it. Again, I think it's very good for school, for work, and even for a wedding with a little flower, some excitement. The messier, the better for this look for me in the back. For a wedding, a little bit more crisp, a little bit more polished with the flower would be perfect. Anyway guys, I hope you enjoyed it and I hope to do more. Have a good day.